I found some watercolor pencils I bought ages ago in my drawer, but gave up on them pretty quickly. So this time I'm giving them another shot to see if adding them back makes sense. Let's sharpen them up first and find out if they can work well with my illustration characters and regular watercolor paints. Here I've got a set of 6 watercolor pencils and blocks. I know there are bigger sets out there, but for now let's start very simple. First, let's cover the basics of using watercolor pencils and how to apply them. The first method is to dip your pencil directly into the water and then sketch out with the pencil right onto your paper. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this one. It tends to make things a little bit messy. If you press too hard, you will end up with grainy marks that are really tough to blend out. The second method is my favorite one, and you basically use a brush and the water. You dip your brush onto the pencil tip and activating the color right away. This way you will have much better control over how much pigment you are working with, and it's a lot easier to blend. The third method is to draw your object first and then go over it with water using circular motions to blend it out, and this will give you smoother transitions and a softer look. So, some first impressions after using it for a while. Watercolor pencils are actually pretty beginner friendly, especially when you are using the brush to tip method, so you can control exactly how much paint you are working with, and to be honest, they are super portable, so they are great for traveling. I think they work best when paired with traditional watercolor paints. So using paint for large washes or backgrounds, and then pencils for finer details or some kind of shading. But also they have some downsides. Blending can be very tricky, especially when you are mixing colors, and the color variety in smaller sets can be limiting. Now, let's put these pencils to the test with my style. I used pencils on the left sides of my drawing for the background, and on the right side I use regular watercolor paint, just to see is there any kind of bigger difference. And to my surprise, the watercolor pencil gave a nice pigmented wash, pretty comparable to the paint. Throughout this experiment and practice, I found myself mainly using the brush to tip technique, or applying the pencil strokes and then blending them with water afterward. After a bit of playing around, I've decided that these watercolor pencils are definitely going to be a new tool in my illustrations and my sketches. So they could be a very good addition to your watercolor, regular paints and tools that you are using for illustrations and sketches. If you tried watercolor pencils before, please leave a comment below with your tips. I love to hear your thoughts and ideas. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.